don't know if I like the glasses or not. I might keep them on just for funsies. I am completely obsessed with Animal Crossing, like most of the people in the world right now, and I impulsively bought a Switch before the quarantine started, and it's literally all I've been playing. I played it pretty much every day now, and my island is slowly growing, and it's just a very wholesome escapism game. It's very relaxing, very calming, definitely recommend. So today I'm going to be showing it some Animal Crossing DIY projects. I hope you enjoy these DIY recipes and you can make them in your crafting table at home. Hopefully it's not too much trouble finding these materials. I have most of them already, or it was just super easy to find. Let me know down below who your favorite Animal Crossing villager is. My favorite villager I have right now is either Daisy or Scoot, which I don't know if those are popular opinions. I just love Scoot because he's so cute. He's like a little duck who loves exercising. I am going to be doing a quick little island tour at the end of this video, so if you want to see what my island looks like after weeks of playing it nonstop and not time traveling, you can go check that out at the end of the video. Without further ado though, let's just get into it. I wanted to make something based on the inventory in the game because I thought it was really cute and I love the design and the little tiny icons in it. So to start, I made a base template for the main shape using Photoshop and the vector tool, and I basically just traced an image that I found from the game and included little dots where the placeholder images would go. Also drew the little images and items myself in Procreate, and I'm gonna link that and this template down below, either in a PDF or a Photoshop format, so it's easy to access. So you can do this multiple ways. I actually found some printable magnet paper at Michael's and I really wanted to try it out because I thought it'd be really fun. So I just printed on my normal printer and then laminated it with some clear tape, and I just cut them out individually that way. You can of course do it where you print it on just normal printer paper and you can glue it to mini magnets, whatever you have on hand and whatever you feel like doing. The reason I wanted to make it magnets is because I wanted it to be movable, so you can move the items around in your inventory like you can in the game, and I wanted to be almost like a memo board, so you can use the magnets to attach notes or little fun drawings, whatever you want on your fridge. But alternatively, instead of magnets, you could of course also do a cork board, so you could just print out the images, glue it on the cork board surface, and then you could tape or glue the little inventory items on push pins and do it that way. Either way, I think it's super adorable, and I actually only printed out the base image of the inventory on plain photo paper, and these magnets held up super well. I didn't need any extra support, so I definitely recommend them. They're very strong. They did not fall off with days of being on my fridge, so I really like these little magnet paper. I'll probably use it in the future. I've seen multiple people do something similar to this, but I still wanted to include it because it's such a cute idea and I think the tree is very iconic. It would make a great decoration piece in your room or your house or whatever, or even a gift for somebody. So you're gonna need some styrofoam balls, 4 to be exact. I got a pack of these at Target, and you're also gonna need some fake leaves. This actually used to be a leaf garland in my room I used to use for decorations, and I kind of just pulled it off the wall and took it apart with some scissors and glued them all over the ball. I like how the leaves are the same shape as the ones in the game, and they also have variation in color and sizes, so it adds dimension and it makes it look a lot nicer. So my tip for covering the ball is to start at the bottom and then work your way up to the top in a spiral or circular manner, so each layer of the leaves are on top of each other, with the leaves at the top being at the top of the ball, if that makes any sense. Also have all the leaves facing the same way. I think that's the best way to make it look a lot cleaner and, you know, more uniform and like an actual ball of leaves rather than a huge mess, because that's what I did my first try. Speaking of mess, my first attempt at making the base, I used some Model Magic clay from Crayola, and it cracked so bad, maybe because I've had that clay for like 3 years and I've never used it, or it's just bad clay, I don't know. But I'm using this air dry clay that I also had just as a backup, and it turned out so much better. So you're going to need a paper towel or a toilet paper roll. I just used a full toilet paper roll, but in hindsight, I probably should have cut it a little shorter because in accordance to the size of my balls, it was a little too long, so next time I'm going to cut it just a little bit shorter. So because my clay was air dry, I needed to moisten it to smooth it out, so I just covered the entire thing in a layer of clay. And then for the little feet part, or I guess they would be anatomically the roots of the tree, I'm not a botanist, you're going to make little banana shapes. They're half a banana shape, I would say. That's not very descriptive, but I just made enough of them according to the reference picture, almost in like a star shape at the bottom. And then I also attached a circle on bottoms of those to add more structure and support, if that makes any sense. And then once that was dry, I also sanded the entire thing because there was lots of bumps and it wasn't very clean. Once it was all sanded, I took some acrylic paint and I painted it a more screen accurate color, so a warmer or yellowish brown. And then it was not featured, but I did use a Posca pen in a brown color to draw the little bullseyes or circles all over it like they have in the game. And now it's time to assemble the top of the tree. So I used a ton of hot glue because I did not want this thing falling apart. So you're going to arrange them in a pyramid shape like you see me doing here, and then apply a generous amount of glue to the base of the tree to attach those there, and then finally put the final one on top. That way it creates a nice uniform looking view. Thank you, Rachel, for helping me figure this out because I'm very small brain. I didn't understand how to do it until she pointed out for me. So in the game they have fruit trees, money trees, even cherry blossom trees, which you could have substituted for the normal leaves if you're making this. I chose to go with a fruit tree, specifically cherries, because that is my game fruit. And I had this stencil that I've had for years and I've never used, and it's made for clay, so I just used some white polymer clay and I made 3 different cherries with it and then painted them. You could of course make them by hand with clay or with foam or paper, or just leave it blank. You don't need to add any embellishments. It's up to you. It's customizable like your island. In order to fix some of the gaps in glue mess, as you can see here, I'm going to take some extra leaves that I did not glue initially on the tree and use some hot glue and just kind of fix all the messes, mostly between the base of the tree trunk and also where it meets the leaves, and any gaps in between the leaf balls is where I added a lot of extra support. It gave a more uniform look to the tree and made it look a lot cleaner. And then finally, of course, add your little extras and you're done. It's super cute. I really love how this turned out, especially from most of the materials I already owned. It's customizable to any tree in the game that you like. You can also add little lights to the tree before you completely glue it to the base, so it's almost like a night light. Of course, the light should be non-flammable, but yeah, I like how it's turned out. It turned out way better than I expected. I really wanted to do something with the villagers because they're all super adorable and I love their designs. So choose your favorite villagers. I mostly chose villagers that live in the village in my game. And then I made my own templates by just drawing them out with a Sharpie on a piece of paper. And then I took some white polymer clay. You can also use air dry clay. I just prefer polymer clay personally. And I used my templates almost as a stencil, so I could use an X-Acto knife to cut out the outline and kind of shape it and smooth it out to be the size that I wanted. They're not perfect, but I do like how they turned out, and as long as you get the general shape of their head, it's fine. And I also made them a medium-sized thickness so they weren't too thin and not too thick, so it would be the perfect size for, you know, keychains, magnets, whatever you're going to turn these into. By the way, if you are going to turn these into keychains or jewelry, you have to insert an eye pin before you bake. It's basically just a little metal wire with a loop at the end that you can insert in the clay, so that way you can attach loops or chains to it. So once I was done creating all of my shapes, I baked them in the oven according to my directions, and then I also sanded them down with some sandpaper because when I was making them, I did leave a little bit of bumps and indentations, and I wanted it to be a nice, clean, smooth surface for painting. For painting, I just used a mixture of acrylic paints and also paint markers or Posca pens, which I use for pretty much all of my projects now because I've been obsessed with them. And if you watch like any of my DIY videos recently, I'm always using Posca pens, so they just become my #1 favorite thing ever. Also, you may need multiple coats to get an opaque color, and you should wait for each layer to dry before you add a new one. And you can see me painting Meringue here. She's not a villager I have right now, but she is one of my favorites. She is adorable. I really loved how all these turned out, and Here is where disaster struck. So I tried to gloss them with a mixture of different glosses. So for this one I was trying a dimensional Mod Podge, and then I also tried a triple thick gloss that I usually use for clay pieces, and both times it smeared the paint underneath. So here's O'Hare before and here is O'Hare after the accident. So safe to say I did not gloss the rest of them. If you guys have any ideas as to why it would smear the paint even like days after it was completely dry, let me know, because I'm very confused and I would like to fix the issue in the future. Like I said, now that they're done and painted, you can turn them into anything. So I glued on some magnet backs. You can also do some pin backs or safety pins, or you can turn them into a keychain like I'm doing to Scoot here. So you just need some little claps and chains and a keychain end, and then just use some jewelry pliers to attach them. I'm very bad at explaining, but these turned out really adorable. I love them a lot, and I should have painted the back really, but otherwise I really love how these turned out. This is a super easy and simple no-sew way to make a string pouch. So you're gonna need some brown and yellow felt and also some red ribbon and hot glue. You could of course sew it, but you know, I'm super lazy and hot glue is quicker and my time is non-existent. So you're going to first fold your yellow felt in half, and then you're going to cut it a little bit shorter, not completely a square, but just a little bit shorter so it's not as long. And then I also trimmed it a little more here, but you're going to fold down the top two flaps, and I also ironed it down to make sure it stayed flat. And then you're going to hot glue the edges down, but you're going to stop once you get to where you folded down those sides, and then you're going to glue down those sides, but you're going to leave a little bit of space in between, so it leaves a little bit of space from the top and the bottom of the flap, because you're going to be putting your string in there later, and then turn the entire thing inside out. So next we're going to be threading the ribbon through our loops. So once we turned our bag inside out, I took a safety pin and I attached it to the ribbon so it'd be easier to pull it through. And you're going to start on one end and then pull it all the way through so it ends up on the same end as you see me doing here, and then do the exact same thing but go in the opposite side. I hope this is helpful and you can understand what I'm doing just by looking at it, but basically you're gonna have two separate sides, and I tied the ends of the ribbons together, and this is how you open and close your bag. It's super easy and I love it. And the final step, of course, is to add the little star. I just made a tiny template myself by using a Sharpie and some printer paper, and then used that as a stencil to cut out my brown felt, and then I just hot glued that on. Make sure when you do that the bag is flat so it won't cause any weird wrinkling, and that's it. It's super easy. It took me like 5 minutes to make, and you can make as many of these as you like. You can also make really big ones. It's super customizable. I love it a lot, and it's probably my favorite. Hello, I'm going to be doing a quick little island tour because I got some requests to do it, so I thought I might as well. I apologize for this filming setup. It's the only way I could record without an SD card, whatever it's called. Oh, there's Red. He's trying to scam me for some artwork. That's fun. Anyways, let's just go inside and do a quick little house tour thing. So I hope you excuse any glares or reflections. I'm really sorry. Anyways, here is my main living room. I try to create like a Swiss Family Robinson adventure vibe, maybe a little witchy, kind of like a cottage. I really love it. It's super cute, very miscellaneous. And then here is my kitchen. It's unfinished because I still need an ironwood kitchenette, and to that I need a ironwood dresser, which I do not have. And you know, if anyone wants to help a girl out and lend me an ironwood dresser or a DIY recipe, you'll literally make my day, because then I can finally finish my kitchen and I'd be very happy. Yeah, but for now it's pretty sad. Anyways, here's my ocean themed bathroom, because of course every white mom needs a beach themed bathroom. I love this flooring I got from Sahara, I believe. It's really pretty. Here is my trash room. I have nothing to do with. I have no idea what to do with that room. And then here's my bedroom upstairs. It's very chaotic, like my room at home, very miscellaneous. I have some K-drama playing on the TV, and then I also have a little pet turtle who just lives his life in my room, and I of course also have some band posters. I love it. So in order to get to my house, you have to go through these cute little steps with the double waterfall. I might switch out the hedges for some flowers later on, but on the left over here, you have a cute little picnic area. So I have a picnic blanket and also a picnic table with some clotheslines. You know, it's very tranquil, very cute. And then on the other side, I have a heart pond, and then I also have my flower breeding / growing area garden, and also where I put my turnips, you know, if I actually had any. And then over here is my secret beach, of course, where Red likes to scam me, you know, like he does. So coming down the steps, we have the campsite, and then over here on the left, we have my fruit orchard, which, you know, again, is kind of sad because all I have are peaches and cherries, which is my island fruit, actually what I named my island after. I just named it French for cherry, which is super unoriginal. So here is the pronunciation according to Google.
Cerise.
Yeah, I just say cerise. I don't know. That's accurate. Anyways, so again, I would like some more fruit, so I have to visit more people's islands for that. And here is Nick's Cranny, where Timmy and Tommy hang out. You know, they're very cute. I love them a lot. And then outside of this, I also have a lighthouse, which, you know, adds some island ambiance. Really makes you feel like you're trapped here. Makes you want to go mad, like that Robert Pattinson movie. You also have Able Sisters, which is overlooking my rainbow flower garden, which is where I have my pride and joy of breeded flowers. I do have a lot of yellow flowers, it seems, and not enough purple, so I wasn't really able to complete the entire rainbow. And then of course to the left I have my beach side, which I really want to make more into like a touristy area with like some tables and like, you know, beach chairs or whatever. So over here is where two of my villagers live. This is Diana. She actually moved in super recently, like the other day, and I already love her. She's very adorable. She's like a little cute little pink fawn. And then here's Coco, who is my absolute favorite. I would die for Coco. I'm in the Coco cult. I love her so much. I'm gonna find her somewhere. Anyways, this is the entrance for the town hall. It's like a little island kind of park situation. You got some benches, some trees, some flowers. Oh, there she is. There's my baby. I love her. Oh my god. She's my new favorite, okay? I'm sorry, she's my favorite. There's the island flag, and of course I planted some tulips around the town hall area with a fence. If you go straight, it leads to my airport, and then if you go to the left, it leads to the rest of my villager homes. So I have O'Hare, and then the back is Scoot, and then Bangle, and then if you continue, you see Hopper and Sherry. I don't know what Sherry's doing. I guess she's like, you know, working a sweat out there. And of course, Tipper down there. And then in the middle, I have this like town common area / booth area. I want to eventually turn it into like a full-blown kind of neighborhood market situation. So right now I just have a coffee store area, and then also a fortune teller / recipe book booth where people who visit my island can get some leftover recipes, and also this peach surprise booth for no reason. And then continuing on, once I get past these ones that are blocking my way, thank you so much, over this bridge I have a little more housing, which I haven't added path to yet, so it kind of looks a little awkward. Here's Rocket. She's my least favorite. I'm sorry, she just doesn't really vibe with me, you know? And then here is my newest addition. His name is Weber. He's a little cute little duck. He has a bowl cut. I like him so far. He's interesting. He's a little plain, but we'll get used to that. In the middle of my island is kind of my untouched woodsy area where I can get resources, and also this really disgusting looking slab of land I was going to turn into a reading nook / a little cute relaxing area once I get some bookshelf recipes. And here is the pride and joy of my island, my favorite part that I've decorated, the museum / maze. I was really debating what to do with my museum, and I'm really glad I chose this because I think it turned out really cool. So I have some tables and chairs, some statues and fossils hidden in the maze, and of course a little gift shop at the end just to reward you once you go inside the museum or on your way out. I actually designed the Blathers t-shirt myself, and I'll leave the little QR code, whatever the heck it's called, on screen if you want to do it yourself. But the hat was someone else's design that I found online. I'm not sure where I found that from, unfortunately. And then leading up the stairs, of course, is my museum, and I'm just gonna walk around that a little bit because it is my favorite part of the island. So of course I have to go to the butterfly room, which is the prettiest room in the entire museum. They really outdid themselves with the whole thing. It's really, really beautiful to walk around, and it feels like an actual museum, which is so cool. And I'm very excited to fill out the art portion of the museum once that gets built entirely. And yeah, anyways, thank you so much for watching my dumb little island tour, even if you didn't care, and let's just get back to the outro, shall we? So thank you so much for watching. Like I said, leave down below who your favorite Animal Crossing villager is. Are you playing the game? Do you enjoy it? Like I said, I'm having so much fun. If you want to follow me on social media, you can do so on screen or down below. And if you want to subscribe, that would make my heart very, very happy. I'll give you 1,000 bells if you subscribe. Yes. If you want to, message me on social media and visit my island, you can, because I have no visitors and I'm very sad about it because I worked hard on my island. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week and bye.